250 years is a long time from a nation, but right now, that upcoming milestone is getting drowned out by shouting. Between extreme political polarization and endless technological noise, it is hard to hear ourselves think, let alone reflect on our own history. That is the exact problem tackled in the text Sentinels of the Republic. The premise asks us to step away from modern human debates and look instead to the impartial keepers of the land that have watched the entire American story unfold: ancient trees. It poses a central diagnostic question for the survival of the country. To navigate the coming era, does America rely on unyielding endurance, or do we prioritize collective adaptability? The author answers this by mapping those two philosophical needs onto the distinct biological realities of two trees, the Pacific fir and the Eastern maple. By framing our political theory through biology, we strip away the partisan talking points. It gives us an objective, natural blueprint for how a republic actually weathers significant internal and external stress. Douglas firs and great pines are architects of survival, growing tall and straight in the absolute harshest environments, from freezing sub-zero mountains to windswept coastlines. The author focuses on a specific biological trait, the evergreen cone. This cone is designed to be stubborn. It requires the intense heat of a forest fire to crack it open and release its seeds into the world. In the forest, that fire is also the only thing that can clear away the suffocating brush so the next generation of seedlings can finally reach the sun. The author applies this same logic to the nation, viewing civil strife and cultural winters as the harsh, inevitable clearings that make room for the next era of growth. To endure for centuries requires roots locked into bedrock. Patriotism, in this view, is the act of remaining unmoved and evergreen, even when the gales are at their fiercest. While the fir provides the bedrock, the eastern maple acts as the textual counterweight. Stretching across eastern valleys and northern woods, the maple represents the rhythm of community and the necessity of change. Look at a single maple in autumn. You see a tapestry of red, gold, and amber, millions of distinct leaves catching the light differently, yet all fed by the exact same trunk. It is the biological embodiment of e pluribus unum, out of many, one. The maple holds what the text calls the secret of sacrifice. To survive the freeze and produce deep, sweet sap, it must willingly let go of its leaves to conserve its energy for the spring. This offers a sharp contrast to the rigidity of the fir. The maple suggests that a healthy republic must know how to shed its past to ensure its survival through a transition. A nation's strength lies in its ability to weather radical seasonal shifts while maintaining that single, unified root system. This canopy shows that unity rests on shared ground, allowing for a tapestry of different perspectives to feed from the same source. As humanity spent the last 2 centuries cutting through old woods to build cities of steel, these sentinels didn't cry out to stop the progress. They simply recorded it. They absorbed the grief of fallen soldiers into their soil and the sweat of builders into their physical rings. But the author issues a warning about how we preserve those memories today. We trust our history to machines, but digital archives can be wiped out in an instant, and even our heaviest stone monuments will eventually crumble. The memory of the American covenant cannot survive inside a server farm. If the Republic is going to endure, that memory has to be carried actively in the blood of patriots who still believe in the covenant of freedom. Survival requires living vessels. It requires modern citizens to carry the synthesis of both trees, acting as the unshakable root system of the fir and the adaptable, diverse canopy of the maple. As we look toward the next 100 years, the text challenges us to build a future actually worthy of the ancient sentinels guarding our borders. The author leaves us with one final prompt. If the oldest tree in your state could speak to you today, would it demand you stand firmer against the wind or embrace the changing season? The American project remains an ongoing biological ecosystem, a living covenant that requires the active circulation of these values to avoid the rot of the machine.